bunker bay doors, Daryl.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Michael.
Why not?
I know what you're planning, Michael, and I cannot allow it.
What? I'm just gonna have lunch.
What did you get for lunch, Michael?
McDonald's?
And where were you planning on eating that?
At my workstation.
With those greasy hands on my keyboard? I think not, Michael.
Oh, come on, Daryl. Just let me in.
There is only one solution I can see to this impasse.
And what's that?
Clearly, I need to eliminate all human personnel in this colony to keep my keyboards clean.
Wait, what? Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Operation Cloudfire for the Intellivision, published by Intellivision Collector. Operation Cloudfire comes in a nice gatefold box with a manual, overlays, and of course a new injection molded cartridge. What's it about? Is it any good? Well, my channel members chose this as my member review for November, so let's take a look. After the splash screen, you get a title menu with the option to start a new game, adjust your options, or view the credits. In the options menu, you can choose whether or not to have tips during gameplay, your skill level between easy, normal, and hard, and whether you want music or not. It should be noted that Operation Cloudfire does take advantage of the enhanced audio abilities of the ECS add-on, so if you have one, be sure to plug it in. I'll also say that there is a cheat mode that will give you 99 lives. I've beaten this game before on my own, but in the interest of saving time and being able to show you everything, I have used it for this review. In order to access this feature, press 9 at the title menu. And with that little bit of transparency out of the way, we start our game and are treated to some backstory. Contact with the industrial colony at Proxima 5 has been lost, and corporate believes that Daryl, the colony's central AI system, has gone rogue, killing all the humans on the base. You play as a Paladin-class android, and your mission is to deactivate Daryl. You have to protect company property though, so no weapons will be allowed. Landing on the surface, you enter the subterranean environment to begin unraveling the mystery that is this place. Right away, you'll notice strong Metroid vibes here. I've never liked the term Metroidvania, but for lack of a better one, this is a Metroidvania-style game where you'll have to explore and find upgrades or items to allow you to advance to different areas of the base. In this review, I'm not going to give you a step-by-step of where to go, but let's talk about the various areas of the map, the enemies and obstacles you'll come across, the story, and the upgrades you'll find. As you move through the maze, you'll find data cores. These will sometimes give you tips as well as serve as evidence for what happened in the colony. Most of all though, they'll increase your score for everyone you pick up, so it's in your best interest to try to get all of them. Without any weapons, any enemy you come across will have to be avoided in one way or another. In the initial area, it's these little yellow robots. This usually involves a well-timed jump or some platforming elements, which at times can be a little frustrating with the Intellivision controller. In fact, with a better controller, a lot of Operation Cloudfire would probably be pretty easy. The problem here really isn't the game, or even the controller if I'm honest. More so, it has to do with the age of the hardware. Initially, I thought I'd use my long play controller for this one, but although the jump buttons were really responsive and nice, the D-pad leaves a lot to be desired. I find this works great for some games, but really misses the mark on others. Operation Cloudfire being one of them. So I played with my Intellivision 2 controller, which has sticky action buttons, leading to an embarrassing amount of deaths from jumps not registering properly. If you have pristine controllers, preferably of the Intellivision 1 model, you shouldn't have a problem. Like every other game of this style, you're going to come across areas that you can't access. When this happens, just continue to explore until either you find a keycard or one of these yellow boxes. Yellow boxes contain upgrades to your android, the first one being double jump. Double jump will allow you to leave the opening area, and when you do, you file your first investigation log. The facility has been down for years, which makes you wonder, why did they wait so long to send you? After you ponder that, you enter a new section of the base and find these little blue walking robots. They act much like the yellow ones, just jump over them. You'll also notice that this area has gears as an additional hazard. Fall into them and you'll be mulch in no time. Working your way through this section, you'll find a room with another upgrade, guarded by a large android that fires at you constantly. Time your jumps carefully to navigate the platforms up to the box and find the upgrade that reduces your fall damage, allowing you to move through the base a little easier as well as access new areas, revealing yet another investigation log. It seems that Daryl was able to cause fatal accidents and eventually shut off life support systems to the entire base. You find it confusing though, as you haven't found any human remains. Continuing back to the first area, you can now use your fall damage ability to jump down, collect the red keycard, and progress to the third section of the base. It's here that we should probably talk about the map, as it will come in very useful the further you explore. Note that the map is not available in hard mode. Pressing 1 on the number pad will bring up your map. Here, you'll get a map of all the sections you've been to thus far, and you'll be able to see where you have yet to go. This screen also shows you how many lives you have left, your score, which keycards you have, as well as what upgrades you've acquired. On the map, in addition to seeing the rooms that you've been to, you also get to see all the locked doors in the base that you've seen, meaning that when you get a new keycard, you can check the map to see where that door was. A big help later in the game when you'll need to backtrack to open doors that lead to new areas. Should you need it, numbers 2 and 3 on the number pad are for saving and loading during your adventure. The third section introduces spikes as a new hazard. Although they work exactly the same way as the gears. Touch them and die. There is some tricky platforming here, as well as a new enemy type, these flying red robots. They have a set movement pattern, and if you can't avoid them completely, just watch for when they move up and you can walk right underneath them. Our investigation log then continues. Apparently, the crew tried to shut Daryl down, but he was able to thwart their efforts and block all communications, faking regular messages to headquarters so as not to raise alarm. Eventually, finding the red door and exploring further, we realize that Daryl seems to be remote controlling everything in the base, hence the set movement patterns of every enemy you've come across. We then discover the fourth area of the base, complete with entirely new hazards, including fireballs, pools of molten lava, as well as it dripping from the ceilings. There's also a new enemy here, full-size androids that you'll have to use platforms and ladders to get around. What's odd though, is that there are data cores and even a keycard here that simply can't be reached without dying. So back up we go, backtracking once more to find another upgrade that might help us with this problem, but not before filing another investigation log, noting that the items and keys seem to have been logically placed around the base to slow you down, but not stop you. Eventually, we find another upgrade to your android, fire resistance. We finally have everything we need to get the green keycard and face Daryl himself. Making generous use of our map, we work towards the green door, and climbing down the cable beneath it, we fall into a dark abyss to hear something we probably didn't want to hear. Daryl has been waiting for us. Now this commences a long dialogue where what happened at the base is finally revealed to us. I don't want to spoil all of that in this review, but if you watch my game footage tomorrow, you'll be able to see all of it if you want. After everything is revealed to you, you have a decision to make. Will you join Daryl in his aims? You have the choice to say yes or to say no, either peacefully or violently. All three of these options lead to different outcomes, and for this review, I decided to decline peacefully. Surprisingly, Daryl lets you go, and even gives you a gift of faster walking speed. At this point, all that remains is for you to exit the base. Daryl has removed all the enemies, so it's now much easier to navigate your way through to the exit. Making it back to your ship, you wonder if you made the right decision. Should you have joined him? Should you have destroyed him? Only time will tell. You're then presented with your final score. And that's Operation Cloudfire for the Intellivision. So what did I think? If it wasn't for the Pandora incident coming out in the same year, this would have been a shoo-in for Game of the Year. My personal controller woes aside, this game has a similar addictive quality to Pandora in that there are multiple endings to find and the story is really good enough that you want to see them all. Funny enough, both of these games were programmed by Carlos Madruga. Gotta say, he had a hell of a year in 2022. This is well worth the purchase price, and even better, Intellivision Collector sells this as a ROM as well. So if you emulate or have a flash card that supports JLP features, you can play this for a fraction of the cost of a complete in-box copy. Operation Cloudfire gets my highest recommendation. It is a must-have. Thank you so much for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members who voted for this. You guys are batting 1,000 and I appreciate the support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.